Hello friends, Sanjukta Kaur here. Welcome to my channel Digitis. In my channel, you will get all the videos related to CBSE syllabus for class 11th and 12th computer science with Python. With this, very soon you will get other videos related to different programming languages also, that is C++, Java, etc. So friends, keep in touch and watch my videos till end so that you can clear your doubt. Like my videos, share it with your friends, and of course, if you have not subscribed my channel till now, then please subscribe it. Friends, in this video, I am going to discuss about class 12th chapter, that is data structure, and basically stack implemented by using list. So, in this chapter, we have to discuss many things. So, friends, watch the same. First of all, before discussing the data structure, some common points I need to discuss. As you know, the computer system is used essentially as data manipulation system. So, here you know that data is the main important part, right? Data can be represented in many ways, data item, data structure, etc. And as we know that we can just organize the data, processes the data, manage the data and access the data. Similarly, we can aggregate the data, summarize the data to form the meaningful information, right. So, data structure helps a lot to do this. Hope all of you understood. That means data जो है, data बहुत important part है कंप्यूटर सिस्टम की, और data बहुत सारे वे पे हम रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं, डेटा या फिर डेटा आइटम या फिर डेटा स्ट्रक्चर. और डेटा कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पे डेटा एक वाइटल पार्ट होता है. सो दैट डेटा को आप कैसे ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हो, कौन कौन से ऑपरेशंस आप उस डेटा के ऊपर परफॉर्म करते हो, हाउ यू मैनेज दैट डेटा दीज आर द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स, राइट. एंड डेटा स्ट्रक्चर ये सब करने में आपको हेल्प करेगा. डेटा स्ट्रक्चर रिप्रेजेंट्स हाउ डेटा इज स्टोर्ड और ऑर्गेनाइज्ड इन कंप्यूटर मेमोरी. दैट मीन्स आपकी जो डेटा वो कैसे कंप्यूटर मेमोरी पे स्टोर होगा, ये आपको डेटा स्ट्रक्चर बताता है. एंड डेटा स्ट्रक्चर हैज़ वेल डिफाइंड ऑपरेशंस, किस टाइप का ऑपरेशंस आप परफॉर्म करोगे उस डेटा के ऊपर, वेल डिफाइंड ऑपरेशंस, बिहेवियर्स एंड प्रॉपर्टीज. सो लेट्स डिस्कस द डेफिनेशन ऑफ डेटा स्ट्रक्चर. द डेटा स्ट्रक्चर इज एन इफेक्टिव एंड रिलायबल वे टू रिप्रेजेंट, स्टोर, ऑर्गेनाइज, प्रोसेस, मैनेज एंड एक्सेस द डेटा to support the user environment, right. Let's discuss the difference between data type and data structure. As you know that data type defines a set of values along with well defined operations starting its input and output behaviors. For example, you have to put a decimal point with float data type. Similarly, two lists cannot be multiplied. So, इस तरह नॉर्मल जनरल कॉन्सेप्ट्स आपको पता है कि डेटा टाइप क्या करता है. डेटा टाइप कोई भी वैल्यूज़ का डेटा टाइप क्या है उस वो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है, ताकि आप उस वैल्यूज़ के ऊपर किस टाइप का ऑपरेशंस परफॉर्म करते हो वो कौन बताता है, वो डेटा टाइप बताता है. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर आप फ्लोट डेटा टाइप डिफाइन कर रहे हो तो दैट मीन्स आप एक डेसिमल पॉइंट वहाँ पे रखोगे. सिमिलरली, अगर आप दो लिस्ट को मल्टीप्लाई करना चाहते हो तो आप नहीं कर सकते हो, बिकॉज सच टाइप ऑफ ऑपरेशन यू कैन नॉट परफॉर्म विथ टू लिस्ट्स, राइट. सो ये कौन बताता है आपको, डेटा टाइप बताता है, राइट. नाउ डेटा स्ट्रक्चर क्या करता है. डेटा स्ट्रक्चर इज अ फिजिकल इम्प्लीमेंटेशन दैट क्लियरली डिफाइंस a way of storing, accessing, manipulating data stored in a data structure. So, data structure आपकी उस data structure में data कैसे access हो सकता है, कैसे manipulate हो सकता है, कैसे store हो सकता है, वो आपको data structure बताता है. For example, Python supports list as a collection of data type. Python में हमने list पढ़ा है और list में data हम बहुत सारे data को store कर सकते हैं, but list में क्या है, list is the collection of dissimilar data type, right, heterogeneous data type. बट अगर आप लिस्ट को डेटा स्ट्रक्चर के हिसाब से जब आप उसको ट्रीट करोगे, देन इट्स बिहेवियर इज क्लियरली प्री डिसाइडेड. दैट मीन्स इफ यू जस्ट ट्रीट द लिस्ट एज डेटा स्ट्रक्चर, एट द टाइम योर लिस्ट विल स्टोर ऑल एलिमेंट्स ऑफ सेम टाइप. सिमिलरली, लिस्ट एलिमेंट, इफ यू वांट टू सर्च वन एलिमेंट फ्रॉम द लिस्ट, एट दैट टाइम इफ दैट सर्च टाइप इज बाइनरी सर्च, एट दैट टाइम the list elements will be sorted in any particular order, ascending or descending, right. So, these are the differences between data type and data structure. This is graphical representation of different type of data structures. That means data structure can be categorized into, can be divided into simple data structure and compound data structure. Simple data structures are also known as primitive data structure, like linear list, that is also known as array. That means simple data structures are built from primitive data types, but compound or non-primitive data structure that is built from simple data structures, right. Compound data structure again categorized into linear data structure, compound linear data structure and compound non-linear data structure. Compound linear data structure, here the examples are stack, queue and linked list, but non-linear, compound non-linear data structure categorized into tree and graph. Then what is the difference between compound linear data structure and compound non-linear data structure? In compound linear data structure, the data are organized in a single level, but in non-linear data structure, the data are organized into multi-level, right. So, let us discuss the theory part. So, implementation of data structure can be done in two ways. One is simple data structure, already we have seen the graphical representation of this, hope all of you understood also. देखो सिंपल डेटा स्ट्रक्चर प्रिमिटिव डेटा टाइप से बनाया जाता है, जैसे कि इंटीजर, रियल, कैरेक्टर्स, बुलियन, दीज आर प्रिमिटिव डेटा टाइप्स ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल इन पाइथन. तो इन प्रिमिटिव डेटा टाइप्स को यूज करके जो डेटा स्ट्रक्चर बनाया जाता है दैट इज नॉन एज सिंपल डेटा स्ट्रक्चर. द एग्जांपल इज लिनियर लिस्ट, राइट. And what about compound data structure? Simple data structure can be combined in various ways to form more complex data structure and called compound data structure. Compound data structure are classified into linear data structure and non-linear data structure. Linear data structure single level data structures having their elements in a sequence. Linear data structure में आपको data sequence में आप maintain करोगे, that is example array, stack, queue, linked list etc. But non-linear data structure, these are multi-level data structure, that is tree and graph. Hope all of you understood. Now, data structure also can be classified as static data structure and dynamic data structure. This is different view. What about static data structure? That means at compilation time, if you are just if you fix the size of the data structure, and if you fix the associated memory at that time, that one is known as static data structure. That means static data structure are those whose size, structure and associated memory locations are fixed at compilation time. But what about dynamic data structure? Dynamic data structures are those which can shrink or expand as required during the program execution. That means आपकी program execution के time पे आपको जैसे requirement है आप उस type के इसको behave change कर सकते हो. That means what about dynamic data structure? Dynamic data structure are those which can shrink or expand as required during the program execution and their associated memory location that will be changed. Example is linked list. That means आपको जितना requirement है आप अपने requirement के हिसाब से आप data insert कर सकते हो, और this is about your dynamic data structure. Hope all of you understood. Now common data structures. First one is array, stack, queue and linked list. We will discuss one by one. So, these are the common data structures we have. First one is array. It refers to the name of list of elements in a specific order. Typically, all elements are of the same type. Elements are accessed using index number. Arrays may be fixed length or resizable. That means, here what is about that array? Actually, array is that name of the list, that is of the elements. Typically all elements are in same order. Elements are accessed using index number. Already we have, you know, that is index number, negative index number, positive index number concepts are there. That means forward index number and backward indexing number. And array may be fixed or fixed length or resizable. And other data structures are stack, queue and linked list. Let's discuss about stack. Stack is one linear data structure. In computer science, a stack is an abstract data type and linear or user defined data structure based on the principle of last in first out, LIFO concept. A stack is a list where insertion and deletion takes place only at one end called top. So, this top is very important. Top जहाँ पे भी होगा आप वहीं से डेटा डिलीट कर सकते हो और वहाँ से आप डेटा को न्यू डेटा ऐड कर सकते हो. A stack can be implemented using array and using linked list structure depending upon the requirement. So, stack can be used by using list, that means array, and using linked list. Examples of stacks in real life, if we will consider, that is stack of coins, plates placed above one another, piles of books, piles of clothes in an almirah, multiple chairs in a vertical pile. So, these are the real example of stack. That means suppose फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप जब अपनी बुक सेल्फ में बुक रखते हो तो कैसे रखते हो, आप सपोज बुक 1 नीचे रखा, नेक्स्ट बुक 2, बुक 3, बुक 4, बुक 5, जब आप निकालोगे तो किसको पहले निकालोगे? जो टॉप में होगा दैट इज बुक 5, जो लास्ट में एंट्री क्या होगा? सो दैट वन इज लास्ट इन फर्स्ट आउट। आप आउट कैसे करोगे? जो लास्ट में एंटर किया गया होगा वही एलिमेंट आपकी सबसे पहले निकाला जाएगा। तो दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ LIFO। सो होप ऑल ऑफ यू अंडरस्टूड अबाउट द बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ स्टैक। Next, basic operations and implementation of stack. So, in our syllabus, now we have to discuss some operations, okay, basic operations and implementation of stack. What type of operations we need to perform? First one is push operation and second one is pop operation, and other operations are there also, we will discuss one by one. So, push operation, when we add any element or data in the list, then this is known as push operation on stack. And what about your pop operation? When we try to remove any element or data from the list, then it is known as pop operation. For example, suppose now your list is totally blank, then you have to add 12 in your list. So, 12 will be the, now if your stack or list is empty, then first time you have to enter 12, second time 15 you have to enter, so 15, next 18, then 25, then 29, next 30 element you have to add, then 80, then 100. So, this is the stack of numbers, right? So, here 100 आपने लास्ट में एंट्री किया था। So, 100 जब भी आप इसको पॉप ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म करोगे तो आपको सबसे पहले कौन सा नंबर को आपको पॉप आउट करना है? दैट इज 100. So, this is about your stack, push operation and pop operation. So, let's discuss the general concepts we use here. First one is peek function. Peek function is used to check the element at the top of your stack or list. दैट मीन्स आपकी स्टैक में सबसे टॉप में कौन सा एलिमेंट है उस एलिमेंट को डिस्प्ले कराना है, तो दैट ऑपरेशन इज नॉन एज पीक ऑपरेशन. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ योर स्टैक इज दिस वन, देन 80 इज द टॉप मोस्ट एलिमेंट, सो पीक फंक्शन विल डिस्प्ले द नंबर 80. नेक्स्ट इज स्टैक टॉप. जो भी टॉप में होगा जो एलिमेंट उसको बोला जाएगा स्टैक टॉप. थर्ड वन इज स्टैक पुश. पुश ऑपरेशन, हाउ कैन यू अपेंड वन एलिमेंट टू योर स्टैक? सेम टॉप साइड से. अभी अगर आपकी 80 है, अभी न्यू एलिमेंट आप ऐड करना चाहते हो 90, तो 80 के ऊपर 90 ऐड हो जाएगा. स्टैक ओवरफ्लो. ओवरफ्लो कंसेप्ट इज व्हाट? अगर आपकी लिस्ट में कोई स्पेस नहीं है, जितना एलिमेंट्स आपको डालना था आप उतना एलिमेंट डाल दिया है, तो आप न्यू एलिमेंट्स आप उसमें और ऐड नहीं कर सकते हो. दैट कंसेप्ट इज नॉन एज स्टैक ओवरफ्लो. एंड नेक्स्ट ऑपरेशन इज स्टैक पॉप. Pop function is used to remove the elements, and as you know that you can remove the elements from top side only. Stack underflow. Stack underflow means if your list is totally empty, then you cannot pop out the element. So, at that time you have to display the concept stack underflow. So, you have to remember two concepts, what do you mean by stack overflow and what do you mean by stack underflow. Underflow means if your list is totally empty, at that time you cannot pop out any element because no element is there. So, that is the case of underflow case. And overflow means if your list is already full with the elements, there is no space to add new element, at the time you have to use the concept stack overflow. Hope all of you understood what is the difference between stack overflow and stack underflow. Now, last function, that is display function. Display function means you have to display all the elements from your list. But here which concept we have to use? LIFO concept we have to use. That means the last element we have to display the first, then second last element we have to display next, and so on. That means reverse order we have to display the elements from the stack. So, friends, let us discuss the program practically. That means how can you implement the stack using list. Here I am going to write the menu driven program, and initially I have to declare one list variable. This time the list variable name equal to stack, and this is one empty list, right? After that I have to write some menus. That means here 1 for push operation, if you select 2 then for pop operation you can perform, if you select 3 then peek operation you can perform, and if you select 4 then display operation you can perform. Push means you can add new element to the stack, pop means you can remove the element from the stack, peek you just display the topmost element, and if you use the display operation, at that time you can display all the elements, right? So, here while true, now this one is one infinite loop. So, while true, true is one true value, so you can enter into the body of the loop. Now choice equal to input, enter your choice. What type of operation you want to perform? So you have to enter the number. So enter your choice. Now if choice equal to 1, see friends, here you can add one new element to the list. Initially your list variable is totally blank. Now you can add one new element. So before adding that, then you ask the element from the user. So here n equal to, n is one variable name. So int input, enter the element. So you have to ask the element from the user. After that you have to call the function, that is push function. So push, now you have to just use the list, that one is the first parameter and second parameter is that element itself, right. So here now I have to define one function, the function name is push, and there I need to define two parameters, two arguments. After that I have to write the logic. So as you know the definition of functions, you have to write at the topmost part of your program. So how will you define one function? Def push, and here local variable, the name is stack. See here you have to just send this stack variable, this time the stack is totally empty, that one is one list variable and one element you have to just pass, and here you have to receive that element in this item variable. Now here just we have to add this element to our stack, to our list. So which function we need to use? That is append function. So here just you have to write stack dot append, and in this case I have to use that variable name, that is item, right. So in this way you can add this new element to your stack. After that you can display one statement, item or element added successfully. So in this way you can print, just display. After that you can print your stack also. This is not the way to display the stack, but here just now what is the recent status of your stack, right. So in this way you can write the push operation, very simple. Here this one is the calling statement, okay. If you just select that number 1, that means you want to perform the push operation, and here first of all you ask one value from the user and you add that element to your stack by using the function. So here I have defined one push function and two parameters are already passed from that calling part to the definition part, and here I have used the stack dot append function. So let us execute the same, but before executing we have to just exit from the while loop. So if choice equal to here menus part, another statement I need to display, that is print 5 for exit from the loop, for exit, right. If you select 5, then you can exit yourself from the loop, because this one is one infinite loop. So how will you exit from yourself? If choice equal to 5, then you have to write break, right. So let us execute the same. Now 1, that is for push operation, 2 pop operation, pick operation, 4 is used for display operation, and 5 for exit. So these are the menus for you. Menus means already predefined functions are there. Here I have written, if you select 1, then you have to perform the push operation. If you have to select 2, then you can perform the pop operation, and so on. Now this time I select 1. So enter the element. For example, my element is 10. Now this item or element added successfully already in your list. Now, you can see in your list the very first element, that 10 is added in your list. Now, enter your choice, that means how can you exit from your cell? Now, you have to select 5. If you select 5, then you come out from the loop. This way you can use the push operation to add new element to your stack. So, let us discuss the next operation, that is pop operation. So, if your choice equal to 2, at the time we have to perform the pop operation, and as you know, pop operation is used to remove the element from your stack, right. So, here I have to pass the stack, that means the list itself, to the pop up function. So, here only this much I have to write in the calling part, but let us write the pop operation. So, here def keyword is used to define a function. So, def pop is my function name, and here this stk is a local parameter I have just used. Now, see friends, here before removing any element, now you have to check whether that any element is there or not. Okay. If your stack is totally empty, at that time you cannot pop out any element, is not it. So, first you check if your stack is not empty, then you write the code to remove the element, otherwise you cannot remove any element, that means the underflow case, right friends. So, let us write the same. So, here if stack is not equal to empty, in this way you can write, then you can use the pop function. So, print, here just you write down the element is going to delete, and just write down stack dot pop function. That means, as you know, the pop function will return the element also, which element is going to be deleted, which element is going to be deleted, that element also returned by the pop function. So, if your stack is not empty, otherwise if your stack is empty, so else just print underflow case. This is known as underflow because no element is there. So, you cannot delete any element. You cannot delete any element, right friends. So, let us execute the same. Now, let us execute that pop operation. Okay. So, just save your program. Now, this time first we need to perform the push operation. So that we can add some elements to our list, after that we can remove the element from the list. Okay. So, let me select 1, enter the element, suppose 15, then already added successfully. Now, enter your choice. Second time also I want to select 1 because I want to add more elements, suppose this time 20. Next choice is also 1, this time I want to add 5. So, suppose now I have created the list stack, that is initially I have entered 15, then next 20, and next at last I have entered 5, that means last time I have entered 5. Okay. Now, this time I want to select 2, that means now I want to remove the element that is from the stack. Okay. So, here I have selected 2 because I have to perform the pop operation. So, now the element is going to deleted, that is 5 because 5 is that lastly entered element. So, LIFO concept, okay, because here the last entered element will be removed from your stack. Okay. Now, you can see enter your choice. Now, that is if your choice is 1, just enter any elements, this time the element is 25. Now, you can see 5 is not there because already we have deleted that element 5, and last before after 5 before 5 20 is there. Now, if we added a new element, then after 20 that 25 is already added. So, now top is your 25. So, 25 is the top position. Hope all of you understood. Similarly, this time 25 is the top. Now, if I want to select or enter any other element, suppose 12, if I want to add 12 to my stack, at that time 12 will be the, suppose enter your choice 1, by mistake I have given 12. So, enter the element, this time I want to enter 12. So, now see, now this time 12 is the top of my stack. So, hope all of you understood, that means how can you perform the push operation and pop operation from the stack, right. So, let us discuss the third operation, that is pick. So, if you select 3, then perform the pick operation, and here we need to send our stack list variable, then I have to define the code, define the definition of pick operation, right. So, here local variable name is stack, because here that original list variable stack is passed, and here I have received in that local variable, that is stack, right. Now, here also we have to check if stack is not empty. If stack is not equal to empty, then only topmost element you need to display, nothing else. So, print the top of the stack is, as you know that last element having the index number, negative index number -1. So, here you can use the same concept. So, stack of -1, that means you know that this is about your backward indexing number, that means last element having that index number -1 and -2, -3 and so on. So, right to left. Okay. So, here we can use the same stack of -1, right. And if the stack is not empty, then we can display the element, but else, that means if the stack is empty. So, here we can just print the same. Print underflow case, that means we cannot display any element. Display any element, right, because no element is there. So, let us execute the same. So, enter your choice, that is 1, because first we have to enter some elements to the list. Suppose first element is 12 and second element, that is 34, enter your choice. Third time also I want to enter 56. Okay. Now, my list contains, the stack contains 12, 34 and 56. So, 56 is the top. Now, I have to enter the choice, that is 3, right. That means, I want to display the topmost element, that is pick operation I have to perform now. So, the top of the stack is 56. So, here 56, that is in that in top position 56 is there, right. So, this is about your pick operation. So, let us discuss the display operation. So, friends, if my choice equal to 4, then I have to call the display function, and at that time I have to pass this stack variable, right. So, let us write the code for display function. So, def display and here stack. Local variable name is stack, and I have received that this stack, original stack variable into this STK variable, right. Now, just compare here, if the stack equal to empty, that means underflow case print no element is there to display, is not it? No element is there to display. Otherwise, if the stack is not empty, so else. Now, just top equal to, and one local variable I have just declared here, length of stack, whatever the length of the stack, then that is initialized to the top variable, and here I need to continue one loop for I in range. So, reverse order I have to display, is not it. So, top minus 1, because suppose if there are 10 elements, then last index number is 9. So, top minus 1, that means that from 9 index number I have to display the element 9, then 8, then 7, reverse order. So, here step value, stop value is minus 1 and step value is also minus 1, because reverse order I have to display the element. So, print stack of I. Here I have continued the loop, that means for I in range top minus 1, that is whatever the length of the stack, minus 1, that means if the length of the stack is 10, then from 9 I have to start accessing the number, and stop value is minus 1. Why minus 1? That means I have to access the element up to 0 index number, but which number I have to give? That means before 0 which number is there? Minus 1. So, if I will give the minus 1, then my loop will stop at 0 index number, right, and step value is minus 1, because reverse order I have to print the element. So, print stack of I. So, let us execute the same. Here enter your choice. Let me create my stack. My choice is 1, this time the element is 12, second time also I want to select the 1. So, this time I have given 45. Next I want to add the element 67 to the stack, similarly 78 and 50. So, at last I have entered 50, that means last time I have entered 50. So, this is my stack now. Now, I have to display the element. So, I have to select the option 4. Now, you see lastly I have entered 50. So, the 50 already came on the top position. Similarly, before that 78, before that 67, 45, then 12. Very fast I have entered 12. So, that is at the bottom part of your stack. So, in this way you can display the elements. So, friends, hope all of you understood these operations. How can you implement all these operations in a stack, because stack is based on LIFO property, last in first out. Thank you, friends. Thank you very much.